Okay, so as you said, that the plugin should be there. Then only recording will be available here. See, under activities it should come. It seems, but there is no recording here. See, Teams should work. I don't know why it's not working. Actually, that is very good option. Teams. See, I am signing out. Actually, then it should give another option for me. There, no need of any installation, anything. I think, right? Teams directly you have a recording option. Uh-huh. Oh, let's see. Okay, let's see whether it's connecting. Because this is my office laptop, so we can't means we are not allowed to install anything actually, any plugin and all like this. Oh, it's working. Okay, so then we can connect from Teams itself. Okay, because their recording is there. Okay, okay. Hello, hi Suresh. Okay, yeah, you connected. So here in calendar, right? Even if you go to calendar, no, you have this means I have scheduled this Unix scripting discussion daily, so you can able to join from here. Like instead of we join through chat, no, we have this option. Like in calendar, tomorrow 13th you can go and you can join from there. Okay. Okay. So you know where recording comes here in Teams. In Teams, where that recording option will come to start. Meeting control, more action, it seems. Meeting control. Okay, more actions. Oh. Can you able to see recording is there here when you click more actions? Okay. So even though I am host, I can't able to see. See only these options I have. Okay, let's start. Okay, because already it's 15 minutes. Okay, we'll check. You can see my screen, no? Hello. Sorry. Okay, so even you don't see recording option, no? Under more actions. Okay, okay, okay. Install. Yes, yes, yes. Correct. Similarly, in Google Meet, here also we have to do. Uh-huh. Okay, because I will check because I am not sure because it's office laptop, no? So that's the reason I have to see actually. I will check any other possibilities there because no here we can't able to install any external app. So let's see. Okay. So today we will cover Unix Linux process management. Okay. Okay. So today's topic. So until yesterday, like you have seen prerequisites for this Unix operating system. So this one, no, if you see this one, right, it's kind of debate actually in Google also. Some says it's same, some says it's different actually. So one thing what we can know, right, Linux is nothing but the clone of Unix operating system. Linux is clone of Unix operating. So clone is nothing but the duplicate, right? So what and all features there, same it will be there with some additional features actually. Yeah. So even if you go through Google, no, you can see some difference. There are different distributions in Linux and Unix operating system, and also you can say Linux is a clone of Unix operating system. Not much on this. Mostly they concentrate on commands in interview question. So today we'll see the process management. So when you execute the program on your Unix system, so the system creates special environment for that program. So environment contains everything needed for the system to run the program. So what they say is nothing but when you open the putty tool and in the shell screen, right? So when you execute the means when you try to enter some command, okay, example uname -a to check the Unix or Linux version distribution, some details. So when you're trying to execute it, so this Unix platform creates some environment on the back end. That's what it says actually. So how that happens is, so whenever you issue a command in Unix, it creates or starts a new process. So for example, when you try out ls command to list directory contents, you started a process. So process is simple terms instant of a running program actually. So when you execute the command, so that is nothing but the program actually. So on the back end, you can see some processes will be going on that for that. So what I do for that, you can okay, you can try here also. In this tool also you can try. So ps, right, ps, it will show the list of running processes in your Unix operating system. So you can also try if you open coding rooms workspace. Okay. So PS. So when you enter PS, it shows a few processes running on the back end. Same thing, because this is the dummy environment, right? Actually, similarly, if I open Putty, so this is a real-time environment actually. So I am connecting to real application-related servers. So same PS, you can see some difference actually. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. PS actually it will give the all processes running in your Unix environment, Suresh. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you issue a command in Unix, it starts or create new process. So for example, they ask to enter ls command to list the directory contents. So so ls actually it will display the directory. So directory is nothing but here in Windows environment you have different folders, right? So for example, I have important like IMP documents, Office documents. So inside that, like we spoken about that tree-like architecture, right? So this actually in this particular location, so this is my like default location actually. So pwd, you just make a note of this pwd. So this pwd is a print current working directory. So this is a very first command we should do. Actually in the syllabus they mentioned about ps actually, but before ps we should know few other terminologies. So PWD is print working directory. Definitely, like you can expect this question also, because they will ask. So you we want to know which directory you are currently logged in to your Unix terminal. So when you enter PWD, it will give export. Okay. So here, if you type ls in your directory path, so what are the files you created? So I created this many files. Okay. So if I enter ls. Okay, so total this WC is word count. Okay, so when I type ls pipe WC hyphen L, it will give total number of files. So when I count A, these are the set of files and these are the set of files. So altogether total 60 is there. Okay. So main thing here, what we come to know is three things. PS, it will show the number of processes which is running in your Unix operating system. PWD, print working directory. When you type that command in your Unix shell, it will print which directory you are currently into. That's the second thing. And ls, simple, under ls you have a lot of options, ls hyphen l. So that's the vast topic. So simple ls, it will give list of files which you created, or list of folders which you created in your environment. Okay, that's the one. So coming to this one, so the OS operating system tracks processes through 5-digit ID number known as PID or process ID. Each process in the system has unique PID. So for example, in live situation, live environment, if you take students, so in students like with one name, right, you can see 3-4 people or more than that in school. So how you can differentiate the people, right? So they have unique id card number, right? So otherwise, example Suresh means like 10 20 Suresh in one school out of 1,000 people. So unique id, same you have same kind of process, but how it got differentiated through PID, process ID. So it's a unique identifier. So this one also you might expect. So processes are uniquely identified by PID. as process ID is called as unique identifier. Okay, so this also you can expect in interview. So how you have lit of processes, how you will identify like unique process means it's through PID, process ID. So PID is unique identifier. Okay. So PIDs eventually repeat because all the possible numbers are used up and the next PID rolls start. At any point of time, no two processes with same PID exist. That's what I said. No, even though we have two names, but they shouldn't have same student ID number. Same thing. No two processes with same ID exist in the system because it's a PID that Unix uses to track each process. Okay, so it should be unique one. There should not be same process ID for the processes. That's what they says. Okay, so when you start the process, so process is nothing but we think, okay, what is processes, what we have to do in Unix, something, nothing. So when you enter one command, ls enter pwd, and when you hit enter, that's what the process actually starts. So process is not like a very complex thing. Whenever you execute one command, some process will start. That's the story behind it. So whenever you start process, there are two kind of processes available: foreground and background processes. Okay, so by default every process that you starts runs in foreground. It gets input from the keyboard because in the Unix architecture you have seen, right, hardware, kernel, shell, and application program. So hardware, I always repeat, no, it's keyboard and mouse only, no apart from that. So it gets input from your keyboard, whatever you are typing, and send its output to the screen. So you can see this happen with ls command because ls is the very basic one. They usually starts with, as the example, it will list all the files and folders in your current directory path. So if you wish to list all files in your current directory, you can use the below command. So why they have given doc means you know the extensions. No, dot doc is a document file, and dot exe is like setup files, and dot xls is a Excel file actually. So if you give ls, it will print all the files actually. So if I give ls star dot text, so it will give only text files. See, out of the 60, it's give only yeah. Okay, so that's what they given one example, dot doc, but I don't have any doc. Usually I create a CSV file, and you can see text file, and PDF is there, but I didn't try with the doc actually. So I created PDF, CSV, and text files actually. So that's the reason when I type this one, right, it won't work. ls star dot doc. Sorry, ls. Yeah, yeah, no such file or directory actually because I don't have in my current path. So that's a foreground process. So what is background process? So background process runs without being connected to your keyboard. If the background process requires any keyboard input, it waits. So what's the advantage of this running process in background means you can run other commands. You do not wait until it completes to start another. Simplest way to start background process is add ampersand at the end of the command. So what it says means like without the help of your hardware devices like a keyboard, you can run these commands in background actually using this simple ampersand actually. So the same ls ampersand. Sorry, there. 1 second. I think it got hanged. Okay, ls. I think always we will check print working there. ls star dot It doesn't complete yet actually. Still it's running, no? Because once the execution completes, it will come to this particular command, like with this host name with directory path, right? It should come after the execution completed, but you can see, right, this is blinking still. This process is going on because this ampersand, no, it's a background process. So until you exit, it won't get exit. So why we are using this background process means this is like one simple command ls, okay, but there are some different file creating commands. So for example, we have vi and different touch, like those are, it will create some shell scripting file. So when you open the file, it have like hundreds of lines, okay. So that time if you use ampersand, right, it will execute one by one line actually. So it will take a long time, we can wait, but this is like ls, right? So when you operate this ls command in foreground, you can see what are the list of files, so no need to use ampersand to run this in the background. You understood what I says? I will say you again. So here it's very easy thing actually, because ls it will list files and directories, and the two I have only 60. So you can directly put ls or ls hyphen l and enter, it will give you ampersand. This is for background, right? This one mostly you use when you have any files or scripting files which is having more than 100 commands within that file. So when you see here ls, if I use, I have this dot sh. Can you see this dot sh kind of file? Ksh. This is like yeah. So dot text dot pdf, like that, yeah, column underscore count dot ksh, those are the shell files I created with the extension dot ksh. So in real, this is also a development environment. Can you see environment is dev actually? So here also we have development and production environment. So usually for testing purpose or training, we use development, we don't touch production. So that's the reason, like this also some files which is related to our work, but in production you can see the real exact work, what you do, that workflows, and what's the real work we do, no, all exist in production server. But still this is development environment. So if they have what is it, call count ksh, right? So call count dot ksh, even so for example this one, right? So this have quite almost 10 lines. You can see, right, it have different yeah, different area, different operations to perform. So ls is just it will display your files and directories, but this ksh when I open, it have almost 10 lines. So this line it will go to this path, and this line it will print first line in the file. So there are a set of operations. So that case you can use ampersand. That's what I want to say. So ampersand don't try to use for simple commands. ls or print working directory, ampersand don't use. So no need to run this command in background actually. Why to run in background and wait? That's what I want to say. So when you have some list of operations to perform, and if it takes more time, you try to run that command in background and go to next step actually. So that's the difference between yes, yes, multiple yeah. uh, Yes, 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 correct. The second point says same thing what you said. No, advantage is you can run other commands also. You do not wait until it completes to start another actually, because this one. Yes, yes, yes. Foreground means one by one only you have to run. Yeah, ls enter and pwd enter, like that, one by one actually. But this ampersand means you can get number of operations to be run on the background the same time. Yeah. So this one also you will expect, Suresh. This question also you will expect. How you run the command in background. So definitely you expect when you attending interview as a fresher, when you how to run the commands in background in Unix environment. Okay, so using ampersand, so not much you can say using ampersand symbol. So then if they ask example, so ls hyphen ampersand, or else I am using ps hyphen ampersand. So along with command, if you type ampersand, that's nothing but it will execute that command in background actually. So till now in my office environment, I didn't try background and all. So I directly put ls or whatever the command, and I will see the output, and I will do background. Means this ampersand background process we didn't try. Means I didn't try in my whole experience actually these many years. Okay, so this is about process. So now I will go to elaborately about this process. So process, first thing, whenever you enter some command in your putty screen or this kind of you can say it's like dummy Unix server portal. So whenever you run any command, that is nothing but on the background some process will start. So whenever this process starts in a putty sorry Unix environment, there are two kinds of process: foreground and background. So difference between foreground and background is, in foreground, like only one command you can execute and you will get output. In foreground, like along with command, you have to use ampersand symbol, and a lot of commands like one by one you can execute on the background process. That's the difference. So in process, how you will identify two process? Okay, so it's through PID, process ID. This is the unique identifier actually. Okay, that's what we have seen. Sorry. Okay, you want to, okay, my volume, right? Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so this one, like in the PPT, it is there, no? That's the elaborated document is this one. So I said, right, lsch start dot doc. It will display all the files, starts with ch and ends with dot document actually. So all document extension files it will display. So you can see, right, all files started with the ch and ended with the dot doc actually. Yeah, so if I want okay, now I want all PDF files I want to display in my current path. So what do you want me to type in this? Sorry. So in my current export home gss KIRAK, so I have list of files, right? So I want to display only PDF files, Adobe Reader files. So can you guide me? Mm-hmm. Or yeah, dot PDF. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it will give all PDF files. So that's what they says, not much. So advantage is you can run other commands. You do not need to wait until it completes to start another. So that's the advantage in background process. Okay. Okay, so list running processes. So second thing, so this one like even we have seen already, right? PS. So PS, it will show all the set of processes which is running in your Unix environment. So PS. So PS have this many columns actually. These are the default columns. Okay, so PID, as I said, no, process ID, and TTY is like a terminal type, and this is time, it's self understand, and this is the command which we have executed. So let's type ps. Okay, so same for yeah, so yeah, yeah, terminal, yeah, terminal type associated with the process actually. So so in tty it's okay. uh, okay, I think you have you had any subject microprocessor, anything? about integrated chips, IC, anything in your college? Microprocessor. Okay, okay. There also you have port terminals. Yeah, yeah, port number, terminals, everything. No, so this is nothing but the directory path only. Actually, terminal is nothing but file, or it's terminal type TTY. Okay, I will tell you TTY what it is. Yeah, terminal type associated with process. So terminal type point to another file or directory. So name looks like terminal actually. We will what is this terminal? So terminal type just it points to another file or directory. So I will show you. So here what it says PTS slash one, right? So so what I am trying, right? So here this TTY, when you type PS to list running processes in the Unix environment. Where is that command? Okay, so here, so this PTS hyphen one is one of the directories or file. Okay, so I am just looking where this PTS slash one, because my current print working directory is export home GSS Kirak, right? So okay, I didn't say that thing to you. So this is nothing but my ID only. My name is Kiran, right? So GSS is like for in my company, right? GSS. So it starts with GSS for all usernames, right? So it's all GSS. KRA is my four letters of my name actually. So whenever you go a new company, right? They don't give you like a public what I can say path to you. So they will create some specific environment to you. So in that only you need to run your commands and do. So same thing, my directory path is this one. So when you join in any organization, they will create like export. So this might change. Okay, but this is like sample. So they create export slash home GSS SURE for one unique ID for you. Okay, so this is the default working directory for you. What I have done, right? I have changed to slash. Okay, so slash is like root directory. So for example, here you have, right? So this is my path. Example office documents. So I want to go to this C. So C is a root, right? So from C only users ID means my GSS ID, everything it will come. Ah, yes, yes. So slash is the root here actually. So from slash we have this many directories and files there. From there, when you search this particular PTS slash one, it will be hidden somewhere. We need to find. So I will check and I will tell you. But this TTY is nothing but it will point to another file or directory. Okay, so whenever you go to root directory, make sure you change to your directory, because there that's where they have created the environment for you. Okay, export, because no, sometimes what we'll know, we will just check something in root directory, there only we will create file, but we shouldn't do actually, because even in our laptop, no, like you have C, you have path Windows C. So mostly you can see program files like Microsoft Office. So all related to operating system. These things you will see right here. You can't install any games in Windows C directly, right? So same in root path, we shouldn't touch anything. We shouldn't create any files. You shouldn't execute anything. You have some allocated directory path. Okay, in every company, there only, whether it's development or production environment, you need to go to that path, there only you have to execute commands, you have to check everything. You shouldn't touch anything in slash, because in slash you have this many things, right? So these are very important. So if anything got corrupted, right, your putty won't work, or some kind of issues it will happen. Okay, so that's the reason you have to do everything in your path, this one. So coming to this point, so when you type ps, so these four columns, it will appear as default. Process id, you can able to relate, right? Process id, tty, terminal type, time, and command. Okay, cmd is command, which command you are executing, that one. So one of the most common used ps is ps hyphen f. So hyphen f is full. Okay, so ps is a default process command. It will give you process id, tty, command, and time. So if you want to use ps hyphen f, it will give full set of columns available. ps hyphen f, you have extra, right? ppid c, yes, time. So you have a definition for everything. So uid is user id, that's a process belongs to. Okay, you understood now why this one came, gss k under uid. User id, yes, yes, yes. So when you type in your environment, your user id will come. So let's check here actually, we will check once in here also, ps hyphen f, and see what's the user id comes here. MySQL, because they have default user id, so they didn't create any environment. Okay, so they didn't give chance for us to create any username and password, because this is a web based one. Okay, it will it create a workspace for you to type bash shell scripts, but it didn't ask any authentication, right? Username and password. So that's the reason they set up with MySQL as the default user id. One process id, it's unique identifier. So this is parent process id, so id of the process that started it. Okay, so what it so you know about the primary key, foreign key in SQL. So yeah, so one like you have two queries or two tables. So one table's primary key is the foreign key for another table, right? Some kind of link between two tables. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yeah. So there is some link, right, through primary foreign key between two tables. So same kind of thing here also, within processes we have some relationship, parent-child relationship. So that's what they says actually. So this 81706 process ID is, parent process ID is 81704, and you can see, this processor 84826 have parent process ID is 81706. This one, right? So these are both interrelated actually, because I typed ps hyphen f, right? Actually, so that's the reason it shows under command ps hyphen f. So ps-f is a command which I have executed. So that's the reason in command field it shows ps-f, and this is like default scripting process actually. This -ksh, right? Because I didn't execute anything -ksh, only ps-f I executed. So this second line, right? This is related somewhat to this default command, because this parent process id is process id for this command actually. That's what I want to say. So when you want to execute yes -aux, it have because I entered only -f, right? -f, it will give a full format for that process. Same, I entered aux now. So aux have different definitions. So show information about all users, show information about process without terminals for X, sorry. U shows additional information like -f full option. Okay, so this like anyway like PS means it will give all the processes. -X, right? Yes, correct. Yeah. -X shows information about processes without terminals. So we will try that. For processes without terminals. Yeah, here it is coming, right? TT, right? PS-AUX X I entered, TTY without terminals, all question mark, right? TSS. No, that means like TTY column should be there, but it's having a question mark. It's like null, right? That's what it means. Okay. You're thinking like only PID stat time command will come. There should not be column TTY. No, not like that actually. So yeah. So these are like default columns. It should come, but the value should be question mark. Question mark is nothing but null, nothing. It's mean nothing actually. That's what it says. So here in PS, what Max you expect? No, like I want to show information about all users in the process. So PS-A. So best you can use PS-AUX actually. So if they ask, no, like what's the command to list all the process? PS. Second question, I want to see all the users running in the system, okay, and along with all like additional information. So -f is somewhat related to -u, so it also show additional information. So all users with additional information you can enter PS-aux, okay. Not much questions on this, okay. These two you can expect. So ending the process. Okay, so stopping the process. So when some process already started happening, so when you want to stop you can use control plus C actually. So apart from that, we means I basically use control D, control Z, different operations to stop some command. So for example, this is print working directory. So I will tell you how to stop the process. Because sometimes you executed some commands, right? But we doesn't want actually that command or some scripting we shouldn't want. You want to stop it actually. So that time what you will do, that's what they says. How you want to stop the process which already started. Okay. So what I am doing now, I am going to different path now. because this is a dev environment under my GSS KIREK, right? Not much file. So I go to some different directory path and I will. So I want to check which path I am in. So what to type? I changed directory now, but still I want to make sure which path I am in. Yeah. So now path has been changed, right? So uh, so can you see some processes is going on? Can you see now? So grep-c, grep is some different command. Okay. So I entered. So what it will do, right? So I am currently into this directory path, right? DW4 app until dot 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 until NTS invoke. So here I am looking for letter S. Okay, so I'm looking for letter S within all the files in this particular path. So it usually takes some time. So when I enter type enter command, you can see, right, it's not giving any output. Okay, so if you see this screen, right, some cursor, so it means like some process is going on, but I don't want to wait until that. So control C, can you see control, what you will call this cap C is nothing but control C. Yeah, so this thing also you make note, control C. So this will exit the process actually. So that's what they say here. So I shown lively to you. Yeah, control C keystroke will exit the command. That's what they says actually. Okay. Okay, so this is for foreground, right? Because I grep, I didn't use ampersand, right? If I use ampersand, that's what the background, nothing much. Even if you says I am running the process in background, I won't agree. I will see in your command ampersand should be in the end. Then only I will agree. Okay, you are running in background. Otherwise, it's not background. It's a foreground process. So same thing when you run some process, sorry, when you type one command, okay, with ampersand, some process running on background and you want to kill that one, so that time you should use kill command. So this also very 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 important, because till now in interview, no, most of the interviews they have asked kill hyphen 9 PID. Just make a note also, this one also kill hyphen PID. So this one, kill the process running, kill hyphen 9 PID. So they said. So you might ask, okay, kill hyphen 9 I know. So PID I don't know. So how you will get PID? Which command? Yes, you started running one command, but you want to kill that. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's. But PS hyphen F, you don't get much information, no? PS. Uh-huh. Yes, exactly. So here you have process ID, right? It starts because PSAUX is elaborate command. It will give all running processes for all users. Okay, so you can see, right, 1 2 3 until ah exactly, yeah. So for example, I will take one thing. Okay, better I use this environment. Okay, AUX, same AUX I am running here, so it will give all the running process. Okay, let's try this PID 106. kill hyphen 9, no such process. Okay. So ls hyphen l. Actually, what they say is no kill hyphen 9 with process ID it should kill, but it's not killing actually. But I don't want to try here actually. Thus, no here it's a real-time dev environment, no. So that process, if it's really needed actually, then if we kill no, then it will create some problem actually. So usually, like kill hyphen 9 process ID, it will kill all process, not all process, because it's you are using the unique identifier PID, right? So it will kill that particular process actually. It terminates the first one process, but somehow in this environment, no, it's not happening actually. Says kill, no such process. Okay, okay. Okay, so you just know what are the commands. Okay, so ps and ps aux, using that you can get that unique process ID, and using kill hyphen 9 you can kill that particular process. Okay, so that's what actually this is. So next thing, parent and child process. So each Unix process has two ID numbers, PID and process ID. So I said same, no, like PID and PPID, process ID. So each user process in the system has parent process also. So most of the commands that you run have the shell as their parent. You remember? I shown one command, right? Yeah. So here, when you type PS, right, you have KSH and PS, right? So each Unix process have two ID numbers. Okay, so most of the commands run, you have shell as their parent. Check PS-F example where this command listed both process ID and parent process ID. You understood, no? So this one KSH, I said no, default it will come. And this is the command you are executing, and this KSH, no, this is a shell process actually. So both are interlinked actually. So the command which you are entering, no, PS-F, that one have parent process ID 81706, that is linked to process ID of this shell scripting process. So whenever you run any command, no, you have two uh, process IDs will be created, one for your command, one for default that KSH shell. Because here I have said you, right, we have KSH, Bond shell and bash shell, almost 3 to 4 categories. Here I am using a con shell, KSH actually. So for the KSH, one process ID is created, one for your command PSIFNF. So that's what this is. So again, this zombie and orphan process, right? So you can, yeah. Can you please bit louder? Uh-huh. That's up to office requirement, Suresh. So here in my office, right, in my project in Putti, or they have installed this KSH con shell actually. Means it's not up to you. You can't able to go and install bash shell. It's not possible. So they have created that environment for in my office, right? They have. So some office, right, like here I have MS Teams. Some companies you don't have MS Teams. They have Zoom. Same thing actually. Here they have installed Conshell Unix operating system actually. So, yeah. So if in your personal laptop you can install whatever you want, but in office, no, what and all there. That's what you have to stick to that actually. I didn't get you. Please be. Can you come again? There is no difference and all actually. So how we have um, what I can say, we have different tools. No, there is no all our browsers, right? Internet Explorer, Edge, Google Chrome, same kind of initials. No, that names are just different. There is not much difference and all. So it might be invented by different person actually, but the concept is same actually. So browser means like you can say I are using for Google search, I'm using a Microsoft Office. Same you can say in Google Chrome also I am using same thing, Mozilla also. Like when you ask difference, no, what you'll say, Google Chrome is Google product and Internet Explorer is Microsoft product, and you can see some version is different. Same thing, same concept only, might be it's invented by different person and all actually. That history and all actually they don't ask. That's the reason I didn't cover actually. They will ask what kind of differentials. They usually don't ask who invented KSH. That questions actually. Okay. So in Google, if you search, you can see difference. But frankly, they don't ask in depth on that. Okay. So this zombie process, no, it's like a different concept. Okay, so for Unix shell scripting, it's not actually needed. Okay, so it's more in Unix development. Actually, this zombie is needed. So we can avoid the zombie process. Okay, it's not needed actually. So then daemon process, it's a system-related background process that often run with the permissions of root and service requests from other process. The daemon has no controlling terminal. It cannot open dev.tty. So what actually they say is this daemon process, so daemon process is again the background process that runs with the permission of root. So this root, when I like, that's a different topic I will cover. So when I log in now to put the Unix tool, right, I entered username and password, then I am executing. And as I said, right, only I can go to that root path, and you can go to your specific allocated like export slash home dot jss. But I want to go to export home dot, sorry, export slash home slash jss Suresh, I want to go. But I shouldn't go, right, because you have username, I can't go. But I can go actually. So using root super user, we have some super user concept. So that will be covered in future actually. So in super user, even I can log in to GSS Suresh, your ID, and I can see your files. I can see your directories. I can execute everything. So that's what this is. This daemons also some background process. That one I can log in with the permission of root actually. So you need to log in with the super user password. So I will tell you. So normally you have to, normally authentication is through username and password to your path. Okay, so that's nothing but export home. Okay, GSS ID common I mentioned. Okay, so there you can execute your commands. So you understood, no? Normal authentication, username, password to your path, and execute your command. If you are super user, okay, you are you means I am interested by logging into your, because some Unix admin at the top level, right? Though they have access and privileges to all users account in their company. Okay, because sometimes what I can say, like in your laptop, right, you will, sorry. Yes, yes, super user. So super user is like very, very, very confidential account actually. So they shouldn't give to normal. Like if you're working in Unix shell scripting or even development, you shouldn't have. Only if you're in Unix admin at and Unix admin also, you should be very senior people. Okay, might be in company level, hardly also like one or two only have that super user privileges. So if you're super user, you need to enter root password. Okay, so difference you can see, normal authentication is your username and password. If you're super user, you need to enter root password, and then you have access to all user accounts. Username means you can have access to all user accounts, can navigate to their files, folders, directories. Okay, so that's the difference. Why I'm saying in depth about the super user means this daemon process also same thing. It's a background process. You can't run. So I now with my GSS ID, I can't able to run actually that process. With super user login, I need to enter the root password. Then I can run this daemon process. That's what this is. Okay, then is top command. So only two things I cover. It's already almost 10:15. No, so top command, it will show all the process. It's very, very, very 100%. You must expect this question. Top command always they will ask. So top command list all process with high CPU utilization. Okay, definitely you will expect this top command. Yes, yes, yeah. Also you can see long running process, you can see, right, CPU, it's in descending order. Can you see zero point 0.7, 0.3, zero point 0? Yeah, and it's keep changing, but it's in descending order. Okay, so it will show long, because as I said, no, Windows is like single user system. Windows is single user is system, only you can log in, you can do. But this you see Unix is multi user multitasking system. Yes, yeah. So you are consuming only 1 GB, but I am consuming 100 GB. But everything matters to business, right? They want to see which who is that person occupying more CPU. Because even though this is virtual system, Unix system, they want to. They also have some limit, right? If you are keep consuming more CPU, so other users will be affected. Okay, they have some load balancing issue. So that's the reason we will use CPU. Sorry, this top commands to see which process occupancy. Now you can see some 35.1, but it keeps changing actually. But like when you get chance, you have to see. We have along with top you can add a few more things, but it will be like visible directly, right? You can see 13.6 some process, you can immediately see that process ID, that user also. Okay, then see GSS KIRAK, mine also came right now. So you can see which user and user ID and process, and you can report. You shouldn't kill and all, okay? Because you can see and you can report Unix admin, because I am training you for Unix shell scripting, no Unix and PL SQL. It's not Unix admin. So you can remote to sorry you can report to Unix admin, says this is the person with user ID consuming more CPU utilization. So that's what this CPU command, sorry, a top command. It's very useful tool to quickly show the process sorted by various criteria. So mainly it will show information about physical and virtual memory, CPU usage. So interview point of thing, they will ask, they don't ask like which, can you show which processes having more physical virtual memory. Might yeah, top command, yeah. So it will give statistics for CPU utilization. Actually, that's a very important thing. Then job ID versus process ID. Background and suspended process are manipulated via job number. This is different from process ID because it is shorter. Yeah. So the job can consist of multiple processes running in series at the same time in parallel. So using job ID, it is easier than tracking individual process. So here also, okay, so there is some job command we have to see, because till now we have seen process and process ID, right? So what they are saying, the difference between job ID and process ID. So in a job consists of multiple processes running in series at the same time in parallel. So using job ID is easier to track individual process. So initially we have seen no process identifier PID, it's easy process. So now they are telling job ID, which is more easier than process ID. So when you execute in future, no, we will see what, how to get job ID for each jobs, and how to check few details, statistics, everything. Okay. Okay, so today we have covered this processes topic, Suresh. So here you can uh, yeah. No, your voice is breaking. Sorry. Ah, yes, yes. Okay, clear means you are asking whether I am clear, no? So you are telling, is it done? Okay, okay, okay. So usually we use clear, no? Means where you're training anything. If you ask me clear, no? Okay, whether I understood or not actually. So like if you ask done, no, then it's means like okay, it's completed. So this PPT we have, no. Actually, what I am doing, no. Okay, then we will see tomorrow, Suresh.